Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Thursday the 20th of October. I want to use the Herbal Tarot for today's reading. I really like this deck. It's actually quite surprising because when I first saw the images, I wasn't that thrilled or keen because they're so simple and almost cartoon-like. But these cards have really grown on me. So I like the simplicity of it, and then all the earthy herbs, obviously. But there's just something really pleasant and benign about these cards. Okay, and I always use the little guidebook as well, just to give me the herb meanings, because I am not an expert in that area. Let's see what these cards have to say about Thursday and what's happening here, energy-wise. Okay, first card is Black Cohosh, and that's the Eight of Swords. Okay. Mugwort, that's the Five of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles. Wow, okay, so these cards are saying to me that there may be some difficulty when it comes to your relationships, anything that requires communication. So it can be friends, family, children. It can also be institutions, so communication on a much larger scale. So your university, the people who let you book holidays and days off at work, if you're working for a company, anything really where it's you in connection with other people and where there's talking involved, that may feel quite difficult and stifled, like you're being held back, or people are telling you what to do, or they're saying no to you, or, you know, the needs of the institution are placed before your own, and it makes you feel stuck and like you don't have choice, like someone who's bound, basically. So that's going to irritate you a little bit. Next, we've got the Five of Pentacles. And the Five of Pentacles is about rejection and hardship. And again, it has to do with the institution in a way, because this woman, she's sitting out there in the cold. She's been kicked out of town, and now she has to find another town to go live in. It's a pain. It's not very nice of the people in the town. She's probably got a ton of resentment, but she's got to keep plodding on. So it's interesting because I feel there's a lot of connection with the outer world, with the public. And I don't think that you're taking it in a flippant way at all. I think you're seeing the situation very seriously, and you're trying to find a way to feel free and to do what it is you want. But I get the sense that other people are going to put a spanner in the works. And there are certain things where you can't do exactly as you please because other people won't let you. And I think that can be very frustrating. And with the Five of Pentacles, usually it's two people walking in the snow. Here it's just one person. And these people at the front of the card are always walking away from the institution. So they're like, well, you know, if you're not going to give me my holidays over Christmas like I wanted and like we discussed for 3 months, and now you're giving it to someone else and I have to work, then that's the last straw. I've had it. I'm not going to work it anymore, and I'm going to walk out. So watch out for that. On this day, I really get the sense that if things don't go your way, but in an extreme way, like if someone really lies to you or betrays to you, then you'll get your back up and say, all right, enough already. I don't need to work with people who treat me like this, or be around friends who disrespect me, whatever group it may be. And you may have had enough and say, okay, I'm leaving. So if you have a tendency to walk out, you know, because sometimes that's useful and sometimes it isn't useful. If you walk out too quickly, then maybe you would benefit from sticking things out. But also, if you never walk out and you get just stuck in a situation where other people tell you what to do, then that's no good either. So only you can decide on that. But if you feel like you have a tendency to throw the towel in a little bit too soon, then on this day, really stick it out, because that desire to just say enough already, that's going to be really strong. If you have been stuck in a situation for years and years and years and you've tried to get out again and again and again and it hasn't worked, today is the day to walk out and to strike and to say, enough of this abuse, I'm going to leave. And then finally, the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is in charge of the element of earth, of the suit of Pentacles. So he's the boss of all work, all money, all living situations. Do you think of him as the patron saint of the lovely house that you've always wanted, or the nice job, or the great physical shape that you want to be in? He's like the person who governs all that. So with these two cards leading up to the King of Pentacles, if you consider the difficulties you're facing when you're connecting with other people, but you don't let them stop you and continue on and try and unbind yourself. So I'm not saying that very well. Okay, if communication is difficult or work is difficult, you have two options. You can either say, oh, this is too much, let me ignore it, or I'll face it head on. The message here is face it head on, try and work through difficulties, because with these cards, they're saying that not only will you work through it, you'll benefit from it and have more freedom as a result. Same thing with your work difficulties. Don't kind of procrastinate or put them at the bottom of the pile or in the drawer to be looked at another time. Do it now, it will benefit you. And that kind of thing, you feel a sense of relief when you've done it anyway. So you'll have that relief, but it will also benefit you in a practical sense, money, work, anything like that. But the other choice with this card is, do I stay or do I go? And the King of Pentacles, oh, you see, and now it's getting a little bit gray. The King of Pentacles is obviously sitting, and Pentacles, earth, is the most solid of all the elements. So with this as the answer, so to speak, it's saying if things do get hard, stick it out, work through it. There's the potential to unbind yourself. So the cards are answering that thing I mentioned a moment ago. Do I stick it out or do I throw in the towel and leave? And with that message, only throw in the towel if you've really, really, really overstayed your welcome. If it's normal and it's 50-50, do I stay or do I go? Then on this day, please stick with it, stick it out, work through what needs working through, communicate with the people who need talking to or educating or whatever it may be, or learn what you need to learn. And I feel that you'll be able to take this blindfold off, get the ropes off, and kind of saunter and traipse back into town and say, hey guys, I'm back. It's like, I've learned the lesson. I know how to do things now. I've honed my skills. I've learned something from myself, particularly how to overcome difficulties. And that makes me a much more valuable person in this town because I can help myself and other people. So I'm a valuable neighbor to have. Wow, so that's interesting. So you can really, through effort on your part and not giving up, change things to the extent where your role is much more solid and secure and your relationships become much easier as a result. Wow, that is eminently practical. I love that. That is so... it's kind of a very Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo kind of reading this. So I hope that gives you an idea of what you'll be working with here. Let's see the numbers. 8 and 1 is 9. 9 and 5 is what? 14. 1 and 4 is 5. And that's more contradiction, you see, because 5 in numerology is freedom. So on one level, if you're able to stick it out and you overcome this tendency to throw the towel in early, you have freedom from that tendency to do that and to self-sabotage. If you manage to work through your difficulties and kind of hone your skills, then you've got the freedom from a difficult existence brought about by low skill levels. And now that you've made those changes, it gets easier. So what I mean by that is like social skills. Like if I show up at a dinner and I'm really anxious and awkward, then everyone's going to stare at me and it's going to get much worse. If I show up at the dinner and I'm cool and casual and it's easy breezy and I'm just like, oh, what are we going to have? Then the irony is, because I'm not interested in what the other people think of me or care, that I'm just going to come across as very relaxed, and most likely I can enjoy my dinner. So if you have problems that crop up in your life over and over again, and if you play any role in those problems, you're able to understand them, resolve them, and implement them, so you have a much freer experience in your relationships or in your work or whatever the problematic area in your life is. So freedom from difficulties, I would say. Yeah. Okay, I hope you have a wonderful day. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to order your reading with me. It's a button that says that, book your reading. Just hit that. In my personal readings, I use astrology, the tarot, and numerology. If you have any questions about your work, living situation, education, travel, what's coming up in future, anything at all, please do get in touch with me for a personal reading. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and share the video online, please. Have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.